So phrasal verbs, what makes them special, I guess?
Well, it's how they take a basic verb, right? Like get or put.
Yeah.
And then they add a little word like up or on or through a particle.
And boom, a totally new meaning pops up.
Right. And it's often not obvious. You can't always guess the meaning just by looking at the parts.
That's the idiomatic part. Makes them expressive, but definitely tricky sometimes.
Which is why the way this interactive English lesson groups them is so smart. By topic.
Yeah, like verbs for listening, verbs with fall, positive ones. It helps structure the learning.
Totally. It gives you a framework. So that's what we'll do. Follow their categories, give clear explanations, use their examples, maybe add a few thoughts.
Sounds like a plan. Should we dive into the first category? Listening.
Let's do it. Phrasal verbs about listening. What's first on the list?
Okay, first up is listen up.
Listen up.
Exactly. It's pretty direct, isn't it? It basically means pay attention, listen carefully right now.
Yeah, it feels like a command almost.
Yeah.
Like a teacher trying to get the class quiet.
Precisely. The source mentioned a coach talking to players or a teacher to students, or just, everyone listen up when you need focus.
It cuts through the noise. It's immediate. That up seems important somehow.
I think so too. Up often adds the sense of completion or intensity. Not just listen, but listen fully. Focus right here.
Makes sense. Okay, what's next after listen up?
Then we have listen in or listen in on. This one's different. It's got a secretive vibe.
Secretive? How so?
It means to listen to a conversation, but without the people knowing you're listening. Eavesdropping, basically.
Okay. Like you're trying to overhear something private.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The examples were good, like maybe Gary and Gertie listening in on a briefing they shouldn't hear.
Right.
Or the classic FBI agents listening in on this call, that kind of thing. Adding the on specifies what you're listening in on.
Got it. So definitely implies listening without permission. You're a fly on the wall, but for sound.
Perfect analogy. You're hearing things you're maybe not supposed to.
Okay. Moving on from secret listening.
Yeah, next are a couple that sound similar but have different nuances. Hear about and hear of.
Okay. Hear about first. What's that one?
Hear about is generally when you receive news or information about something or someone, just finding out about it.
So did you hear about the new coffee shop downtown?
Exactly. Or the source examples. Hearing about comments on a video, learning about interesting people, or even someone asking you, how did you hear about our channel?
It feels kind of passive, like the information just comes to you.
Yeah, you're not necessarily seeking it out. Now, hear of.
How's that different?
Hear of is more about knowing of something's existence or having some familiarity. It often checks awareness.
So have you ever heard of?
Precisely. Have you ever heard of Superman? Or have you heard of KFC? The source used those. It implies the thing or person is somewhat known.
So hear about is receiving news, maybe about something new to you,
Mm-hmm.
while hear of is more about being aware of something that already has some presence or reputation.
That's a great way to put it. It often tests your general knowledge or awareness.
Subtle difference, but useful. Okay, what else in the hear family?
Next is hear from. And this one's interesting because it has quite a few different meanings.
Oh, really? Okay, let's break them down. Meaning number one?
The most common one is probably just receiving communication directly from someone.
Like a call or an email.
Yeah, exactly. A message. Yeah. The examples were like hearing from a friend, your doctor calling, hearing from Bobby, or even Superman, apparently. It's about direct contact.
Okay, simple enough. I haven't heard from my brother lately, that kind of thing. What's meaning number two?
The second meaning is more about listening to someone talk about a topic, often in a slightly more formal way.
So?
Like the source mentioned school faculty hearing from students about their concerns, or being in an audience and hearing from a guest speaker.
So it's about receiving information or opinions directly from someone speaking, often to a group or in a presentation.
Right. Or even just listening to someone tell you about something, like, I heard from my daughter all about her trip. You're the audience for their story.
Gotcha. So direct message or listening to someone present something. What's the third meaning? You said there were a few.
Yes, the third one. Well, it's not so nice. It's more like a threat.
A threat. How does hear from mean a threat?
It implies you're going to face consequences or a complaint. Think. You'll be hearing from my lawyer.
Ooh. Okay, Finn. Definitely negative.
Or just a general warning, like, if you don't apologize, you'll hear from me. It means trouble is coming your way.
Wow. Same phrasal verb, totally different feelings depending on the context.
Absolutely. Context is king with phrasal verbs. Okay, next.
Yes, please.
Hear someone out. This one's about good communication.
Hear me out.
Exactly. It means listen to everything someone has to say without interrupting. Let them finish before you respond.
It's asking for patience and a full hearing, right?
Totally. The source gave examples like in an intense conversation or even the YouTube teacher asking listeners to hear him out and finish the lesson. It's about giving someone the chance to fully state their case.
Very important skill. Respectful listening. Okay, hear someone out. What else?
We have hear of, again, just to really nail the distinction.
Okay, quick recap.
Receiving news, often testing familiarity. Have you heard of this person, this place, this event? Are you aware of it?
Right, like the Superman or KFC examples.
Yeah.
Checking general knowledge.
Exactly. And the source also mentioned hearing of sad news, receiving information about an unfortunate event you might or might not have known about before.
Got it. Familiarity is key.
Then there's pickup. Now, this one has tons of meanings, but in the listening context.
What does it mean for listening?
It means to detect or hear a sound, especially one that's faint or hard to catch.
Like you're straining to hear something.
Yeah, like trying to pick up a quiet tune with headphones, or scientists trying to pick up signals from space.
Or picking up a faint radio signal, like Abdul in the example.
Exactly, detecting those hard-to-hear sounds.
Okay, pick up for faint sounds. Next.
Tune in. This one's very specific to media.
Like TV or radio?
Yep, or podcasts or video lessons. It means to deliberately watch or listen to a specific broadcast or show at a certain time.
So like we hope people are tuning into this right now.
Exactly. Or when a show says tune in next week, it's about actively choosing to engage with that scheduled content.
Makes sense. And the opposite would be
Tune out.
ignoring something.
Pretty much. To stop paying attention, stop listening. Either deliberately, like tuning out someone boring,
We've all done that.
or unintentionally, maybe you're just tired or distracted. The source mentioned hoping listeners aren't tuning out the lesson.
Or tuning out a coworker's complaints.
Very relatable.
Very. It's mentally disengaging from the sound.
Okay. One more in the listening category.
Yes, the expression, hang on to someone's every word.
Is that technically a phrasal verb?
Not strictly, no particle really, but it functions similarly to describe intense listening. It means you're listening so carefully because what's being said is fascinating or really important.
Like you're completely captivated.
Exactly. Rapt attention. The examples involved situations with serious responsibility or a leader speaking. You value every single word.
Got it. Listening with intense focus and interest. Okay, wow, that's a lot just for listening.
It shows how nuanced English can be. Ready for the next set? Let's do it. We're moving on to phrasal verbs with fall, right? The source said these can be extra tricky.
They can be. Because fall usually means moving down, but add a particle and the meaning can go anywhere. First one, fall apart.
Okay, fall apart, breaking into pieces.
Yeah, literally like an old table that's falling apart. Or figuratively, like a plan, or maybe even a person emotionally breaking down.
So, losing structure or integrity. My old sweater is falling apart.
Perfect example. It's disintegrating or breaking down.
Got it. Next, fall verb.
Fall behind.
This sounds like not keeping up.
Exactly. Failing to do something fast enough or stay at the same level as others, like falling behind at work on your projects.
Or falling behind at a difficult class at school.
Right. You're not keeping pace. The behind visually puts you further back.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Fall behind. What about fall through?
This one is almost always about plans or arrangements. It means they're not going to happen. They failed.
Oh, like your weekend plans got canceled.
Yep. Our plans fell through. Something prevented them from happening. It's that disappointment when things don't work out.
Yeah, that feeling of something just disappearing. Like it fell through a crack.
Good way to think of it.
Yep.
Okay, next is a 3-word one. Fall back on.
Fall back on. Sounds like a backup plan.
It is. It means to use something, usually financial support or savings, as a last resort when other things have failed.
There's safety net.
Exactly. Like falling back on your savings if you lose your job. It's what you rely on when the main plan doesn't work.
Okay, relying on a backup. What's next?
Two that are physically falling, fall down and fall over.
What's the difference? They sound almost the same.
There's a subtle difference. Fall down is more general, just falling to the ground or floor. You trip, you fall down. A painting falls off the wall, it falls down.
Okay, so what's fall over?
Fall over is more specifically for things that were upright and then topple onto their side, like a lamp falling over.
So it emphasizes starting vertical and ending horizontal.
Kind of, but the source rightly notes that people often just use fall down for almost everything. It's the more common one.
Good to know. Stick with fall down generally, unless something clearly tips over.
Pretty much. Now fall off.
Fall off, separating from something.
Exactly. Meaning one is literal detachment. A button falls off your shirt. Leaves fall off a tree. You fall off a horse.
Okay, clear separation. Is there another meaning?
Yes, a figurative one, often used in business. It means a decrease in rate or quality, like sales falling off after Christmas.
So a decline, like interest in something falling off.
Right, so physical separation or a metaphorical decrease.
Got it. What about fall out?
Also has a couple of meanings, literally something coming out of a container by falling. My keys fell out of my pocket.
Okay, what's the other meaning?
It's often used for hair or teeth becoming loose and coming out naturally.
Right. Hair falling out. It implies a less forceful separation than maybe fall off.
Yeah, more like becoming detached naturally from inside something like your head or mouth.
Okay, fall out. Next.
Fall for. This is a fun one with two very different meanings.
Oh, what are they?
Meaning one, to develop romantic feelings for someone. To fall in love.
Oh, okay, that's nice. What's the other meaning?
To be tricked or deceived. To believe a lie or a prank.
Whoa, polar opposites. He fell for her versus he fell for the scam.
Exactly. Context is everything here. You really need to know the situation to understand which fall for it is.
Definitely. It's kind of interesting, though. Maybe both involve a loss of control or judgment.
That's a fascinating thought, being swept away by feelings or by deception. Okay, last one in the fall group. Fall into.
Fall into, like literally falling into water.
That's one meaning, yes. Accidentally entering something, like falling into a pool.
Okay, another meaning.
Yes, entering a state or condition suddenly, like falling into a deep sleep or falling into a coma.
A sudden change of state.
Right, and there are also a couple of great idioms with it. Fall into place.
Meaning things work out well.
Yeah, things happen smoothly, logically, without problems. Everything fell into place for the event.
Nice. And the other idiom.
Fall in someone's lap. This means something good happens to you unexpectedly without any effort on your part.
Like winning the lottery or getting an unexpected opportunity?
Exactly. Pure good fortune just landing on you.
Wow, fall really does cover a lot of ground, from breaking down to romance to good luck.
It's incredibly versatile. Shall we shift to something more positive now?
Please, after all that falling, let's talk about phrasal verbs with positive meanings. What's first?
Believe in.
Believing in someone or something.
Yes, having confidence or faith. Like the example, I believe in your ability to learn English. It's about trust and conviction.
That's a nice supportive one. Okay, what else is positive?
Brush up on. This is about improving a skill you used to have.
Like refreshing your memory.
Exactly. Reviewing something you learned before but might have forgotten a bit, like brushing up on your history before a quiz or brushing up on a language before a trip.
Dusting off those old skills. I need to brush up on my Spanish.
Perfect. Next, get along.
Getting along with people. Friendly relationship.
Yep, simple as that. Being friendly, having a good rapport.
Essential for a positive environment. Okay.
Get over. This is about recovery.
Recovering from what?
An illness, a breakup, a disappointment, returning to your normal, happy or healthy state after something bad.
Moving past difficulty. You finally got over the flu.
Exactly. Putting it behind you. Then there's get through.
Getting through something difficult.
Yeah, surviving or enduring a tough time and reaching the end, like telling someone you'll get through this. It's about perseverance.
That sense of encouragement, making it to the other side.
Right. Next is go beyond, or even stronger, go above and beyond.
Doing more than expected.
Exactly. Exceeding requirements, putting in extra effort, showing exceptional commitment.
Like an employee who goes above and beyond for a customer.
Perfect example. Okay, now a slightly odd one for the positive list. Goof off, or goof around.
Wait, isn't that wasting time? How is that positive?
Well, the source suggests that sometimes not being productive, just relaxing and being silly can actually be good for you. It helps you de-stress.
Okay. So taking a break to recharge can have positive effects. I can see that. Sometimes you just need to goof off.
Exactly. Then help out.
Assisting someone.
Yes, doing work for them or giving support, maybe money. Like the request in the source video to help out by liking the video, it's about contributing.
Lending a hand.
Yeah.
Can you help me out with this?
Right, and then keep at it.
Keep trying. Don't give up.
Precisely. Encouragement to continue working on something difficult, especially when you feel like quitting. Persevere.
Keep at it. You're almost there. Very motivating.
Similar as keep up.
Keep up the good work. Maintain effort.
Yes, continue doing well, maintain the standard or pace.
Okay. Keep up the great work.
Then light up. This describes a person's face.
When they look happy?
Exactly. Suddenly looking bright and happy, like when you see someone you love or hear good news. Radiating joy.
Ah, that's lovely. Her face lit up when she saw the present.
Perfect. Next, look forward to.
Anticipating something good.
Yes, feeling excited and happy about a future event. I'm looking forward to the weekend. Positive anticipation.
A very common and positive feeling.
Then look up, not looking upwards, but
Things are improving. Things are looking up.
that's the one. Becoming better, especially after a difficult period. A positive turn of events.
Okay, things are looking up. Good phrase.
Pay off. This is about results.
When your hard work leads to success.
Exactly. All that effort paid off. The reward for your dedication.
Very satisfying when that happens.
Isn't it? Next, pull through. This is often about serious situations.
Like recovering from a major illness?
Yes, or a very tough time. Surviving against the odds. We were worried, but he managed to pull through. Resilience.
A hopeful one. Okay.
Settle down. This can mean a few things, but the positive sense is becoming comfortable and established.
Like settling down in a new city or maybe starting a family.
Exactly. Finding stability, contentment, putting down roots.
Okay. Finding your place.
Sort out. This means dealing with a problem successfully.
Finding a solution. Resolving an issue.
Yep. Taking a messy situation and bringing order to it. I need to sort out my finances.
Taking control and fixing things.
Then straighten up. This is about behavior.
Improving your behavior after doing something wrong.
That's right. Deciding to act better, more responsibly. He promised to straighten up and fly right.
Making a positive change in conduct.
Work through. Dealing with a complex problem.
Oh.
By tackling its different parts methodically until you find a solution. A systematic approach to a tricky issue.
Okay. Carefully managing a problem step by step.
And lastly, work up, or work your way up.
Making progress, like in a career.
Exactly. Achieving a higher level or position through effort. Climbing the ladder. Advancement.
She worked her way up to manager. Ambition and success. Wow, that really is a lot of positive phrasal verbs. It's nice to focus on those.
It shows the language isn't all struggle and difficulty. Ready for a trip to the shops.
Metaphorically speaking. Let's talk about phrasal verbs for shopping. What's first?
Sell out of.
Ah, when something's completely gone, no more left to buy.
Exactly. The store has sold all of its stock, like the source mentioned selling out of mushrooms or hummus or tickets for a concert being sold out.
The frustration of sold out.
We've all been there. Okay, next. Try out.
Testing something before you buy it, like clothes.
Yep. Trying on clothes or shoes, or maybe testing a demo version of software, seeing if you like it, if it fits, if it works for you.
Makes sense. Got to try before you buy.
Then pick up. We saw this for listening, but in shopping.
Buying something quickly, grabbing a few things.
Right. Usually implies a quick, maybe unplanned or routine purchase. I need to pick up some milk. Just picked up a few things at the store.
Okay, quick buy. How's that different from pick out?
Pick out means to choose or select something, often carefully, from a group of options.
Ah, so it's the act of choosing. Help me pick out a birthday present. She picked out a nice ripe avocado.
Exactly. Deliberate selection.
Got it. What about prices?
Ah, music to a shopper's ears. Markdown.
Reducing the price. A sale.
That's the one. Lowering the price of an item, often shown as a percentage off or a new lower price.
Always good to see things marked down.
Isn't it? Now for browsing. Look around.
Just browsing. Not looking for anything specific.
Exactly. Casually exploring a shop, seeing what they have, with no firm intention to buy. Just looking around. Thanks.
A common shopping activity. What if you were comparing
Then you shop around.
prices at different stores?
Yes, usually for bigger purchases. You check store A, store B, online, etc. to find the best deal before buying, being a smart consumer.
Right. Shopping around for the best price on a TV, for example.
Perfect. Now, for spending money, sometimes painfully. Shell out.
Paying a lot of money. Often reluctantly.
That's the feeling. Spending a large sum, maybe feeling it's a bit too expensive or unfair. I had to shell out £500 for car repairs.
Ouch. That feeling of a big, maybe unexpected expense.
Then there's blow money on.
Spending wastefully.
Yeah, carelessly spending on unnecessary things, maybe things you regret later, like the example of blowing money on a gym membership you never use.
Guilty as charged, perhaps. Frivolous spending.
And finally, if you regret a purchase or it's faulty, take back.
Returning something to the store.
Yep. Taking an item back because it doesn't fit, it's broken, or you just changed your mind. Getting a refund or exchange.
A standard part of the shopping cycle. I need to take this shirt back.
Exactly. Okay, that covers shopping, ready for school, metaphorically, of course.
Let's talk phrasal verbs for studying and learning. What have we got?
First, think through.
Considering something carefully before deciding.
Yes, contemplating all the angles, possible outcomes. Thorough consideration. You should think this through before you commit.
Important for big decisions.
Then pick up. Again, this verb gets around. In studying.
Learning something new may be easily or informally.
Exactly. Learning a skill, a language, information, often without intense formal study, like picking up some phrases while traveling or picking up English by watching movies.
Acquiring knowledge somewhat naturally.
Right. Now, a negative one. Cheat on.
In tests or exams, acting unfairly.
Yes, academic dishonesty. Using forbidden help or methods to get a better grade on a quiz, test, etc.
Definitely not recommended.
Absolutely not. Okay, moving to research. Read up on.
Researching a topic by reading about.
That's it. Increasing your knowledge by reading specific materials. I need to read up on the company before my interview. Getting informed.
Preparing through reading.
Go through. This means examining something carefully.
Like checking a paper for errors. Or reviewing notes.
Exactly. Scrutinizing something in detail. Reading carefully. Looking for specific things. Let me go through your essay.
Yeah, detailed examination. Okay.
Then, submitting work. Hand in or turn in.
Giving your homework or assignment to the teacher.
Yep, they mean the same thing. Submitting your completed work. Please hand in your papers by Friday.
A deadline staple.
Isn't it just? Now remember, fall behind. It applies here too.
Not keeping up with the coursework.
Exactly. Being less current or advanced in your studies than expected or compared to others.
A stressful feeling for students.
It can be.
Yeah.
Then there's dropout of...
Leaving school or course before finishing.
Yes, discontinuing your studies prematurely. A big decision.
Definitely.
Okay, handout. This is what the teacher does.
Distributing papers, like assignments or tests.
Correct. Giving materials to a group. The teacher handed out the worksheets.
Okay.
Distribution.
And finally, for studying, catch on.
Understanding something, finally. That aha moment.
That's it. Grasping something that was confusing before, understanding how something works or what something means. He's quick to catch on.
When the light bulb goes on. Great, that covers studying well. What's next? Health. Yes, phrasal verbs related to sickness and health. Very practical vocabulary. First, come down with.
Starting to get sick. Feeling the first symptoms.
Exactly. Usually for common, less serious things like a cold or the flu. I think I'm coming down with something, the beginning of feeling ill.
Okay. What if you feel really hot?
Then you might be burning up.
Having a high fever.
Yes, feeling very hot due to a fever, a strong sign of illness. The baby was burning up.
Got it. Oh, next one. Throw up.
Yeah, pretty direct. Means to vomit.
Expelling stomach contents. Not pleasant, but sometimes necessary.
Indeed. Similarly unpleasant. Cough up.
Coughing something out of your lungs or throat, like mucus.
Yes, expelling phlegm, or more seriously, blood by coughing. The up indicates expulsion.
Okay. What about swelling?
That would be puff up.
Swelling, like from an allergy.
Exactly. Becoming enlarged or swollen, off in the face or a specific area due to a reaction or inflammation.
Visible swelling.
Flare up. This is for conditions that come and go.
When an old illness or condition returns or gets worse suddenly.
That's it, like arthritis flaring up, or an old injury causing pain again, a sudden worsening or return.
Okay. What about skin issues?
That's often breakout.
Suddenly getting a rash or spots.
Yes,
Yeah.
like breaking out in hives or acne breaking out, the sudden appearance of a skin condition.
Got it. What about trying not to get sick?
That's fight off.
Resisting an illness? Trying to stop it from developing?
Exactly. Your body trying to combat the germs, or you actively trying to help it by resting, etc. I'm trying to fight off this cold.
Strengthening your defenses.
And if the fight fails and you get sick, hopefully you eventually get over it.
Recover from the illness. Return to health.
Yes. It took her a week to get over the flu. Recovery.
Okay. One more serious one. Pass out.
Losing consciousness. Fainting.
Correct.
Suddenly becoming unconscious for a short time.
And the opposite. Waking up from that.
That would be come to, or come around, or come round. They all mean regain consciousness.
Returning to awareness after fainting.
Precisely. And one more. Put on. in a medical sense.
Like being put on medication.
Exactly. Starting a course of treatment, especially medication prescribed by a doctor, the doctor put me on antibiotics.
Okay, starting a prescribed treatment. Very useful health vocabulary. Now let's talk about talking. Phrasal verbs for speaking.
Absolutely. The most basic. Talk to.
Just speaking directly to someone.
Yep. I need to talk to my manager. Direct address.
Okay. How is talk with different?
Very similar, often interchangeable, but talk with can sometimes imply more of a two-way conversation, an exchange.
So talk to might be one way, while talk with suggests more interaction.
That's the subtle difference, yes. I had a long talk with her.
Okay. What about talk someone up?
Speaking very positively about someone, praising them, yes, enthusiastically promoting their good qualities or abilities to someone else, giving them a good rap.
Like recommending someone for a job by talking them up.
Exactly. Now, the opposite vibe, talk back to someone.
Replying rudely, especially to someone in authority.
That's it. Disrespectful or defiant responses, usually seen as negative behavior.
Right. Don't talk back. Okay, moving to speak. What about speak up?
Simply means talk louder.
Because someone can't hear you.
Usually, yes. Could you speak up, please? Increase your volume.
Got it. What about speak up for?
Defending someone verbally. Supporting them? Exactly. Sticking up for someone when they're being criticized or treated unfairly, being their advocate.
A noble action. She spoke up for her quiet colleague.
Nice example. Then there's speak for.
Representing someone else's views.
Yes. Expressing the opinions or beliefs of another person or a group, often with their permission. Acting as a spokesperson.
I think I speak for everyone when I say that kind of thing.
Precisely. And finally, a potentially harsh one, shut up.
Two meanings here, right? The
Yeah.
one is rude, telling someone to be quiet.
Very rude, yes. An angry command to stop talking.
And the other meaning.
Exclaiming surprise or disbelief, shut up, you won, said with astonishment, not anger.
Context is absolutely crucial for that one.
Okay.
Wow. Okay, speaking covered. Last category. .tech.
Yes, computers and technology, essential nowadays. First, getting access. Log in or sign in.
Entering your username and password?
Exactly. Accessing a system, website, app.
The daily routine.
Interacting with the screen. Click on.
Using the mouse to select something. An icon, a link.
Yep, fundamental action. Click on the button.
Easy enough. Navigating pages.
Scroll up and scroll down to move vertically. And scroll through to browse up and down a document or page, often looking for something.
Right. Scrolling through social media feeds or scrolling down a long article.
Exactly. Protecting your data. Backup.
Making a safety copy of your files.
Yes. Copying data to another location, like an external drive or the cloud, in case the original is lost. Crucial.
Very true. Don't forget to back up. How about unauthorized access?
That's hack into.
Illegally accessing a computer system or network.
Correct. Usually with bad intentions. A security breach.
A big problem these days. Okay. What about running out of resources?
You can run out of things like storage space or battery power.
The dreaded low storage notification. Running out of space.
Or running out of battery on your phone. Depletion of a resource.
What's the solution to running out of space?
You need to free up space.
Make space available by deleting things.
Exactly. Removing files, uninstalling apps to create more room, optimizing storage.
Okay, freeing up space. What about those annoying things that appear suddenly?
Ads. Notifications. They pop up.
Suddenly appearing on the screen.
Yep. Pop-up ads are the classic example. Unexpected visual elements.
Got it. What about choosing to receive emails or not?
You opt in to receive them or opt out to stop receiving them.
Managing your subscriptions and permissions.
Right. Controlling the communication flow.
Yeah.
Dealing with unwanted emails.
You filter out this spam.
Exactly. Using rules or software to automatically remove unwanted messages like junk mail.
Essential for inbox sanity.
Definitely. Finishing your computer session, you turn off, shut down, or power off your computer.
Different ways to say stop the operation.
Yep, they all mean basically the same thing. End the session, cut the power.
Okay, connecting to power.
You plug in your device.
Connect the cable to the power socket.
Correct. Establishing the electrical connection.
Got to plug into charge.
What about making a paper copy? You print out a document.
Creating a hard copy from a digital file using a printer.
That's it, digital to physical.
Getting new tech ready.
You need to set up the new hardware or software.
Installing and configuring it so it's ready to use.
Exactly. The initial preparation process, setting up a new computer.
Okay. And finally, staying current with tech.
You try to keep up with the latest changes and developments.
Staying informed about new technology, which is hard.
It really is. It changes so fast. Trying to maintain your knowledge level.
Phew. Okay, that was an absolutely massive tour of phrasal verbs covering so many areas of life, all thanks to that great interactive English lesson structure.
It really was comprehensive. We went through listening, falling, positive vibes, shopping, studying, health, speaking, and tech.
Yeah, a huge number. And hopefully breaking them down like this shows you how understanding them really boosts your fluency.
Definitely. They're everywhere in real English conversation. Getting comfortable with them makes a big difference in sounding natural and understanding others.
Totally agree. We really hope organizing it by these themes with the examples made it feel a bit less overwhelming and, more manageable for you.
Yeah, hopefully more insightful.
So for anyone who might be new here, let me just quickly explain what we do on the deep dive.
Go for it.
Okay, so basically you, our listeners, send us source materials. Could be articles, videos, maybe even lecture notes. Anything you're trying to really get your head around.
Things that maybe feel a bit dense or overwhelming on your own.
Exactly. And then we dive deep into them. We pull out the key knowledge, the core insights, and we lay it all out for you in a way that's hopefully clear, engaging, and efficient.
Think of us as your, information filters.
Right.
We cut through the noise, highlight what's important, and save you a whole lot of time and effort.
Precisely. It's like a shortcut to feeling well-informed without drowning in information. We focus on what really matters for understanding.
And making those connections between different ideas, which is often the hard part.
Right. So today we've got a really useful resource that one of you sent in. It's the 100 Most Common English Words A1 B2 Vocabulary video from the Lingua Marina YouTube channel.
Ah, yes, Lingua Marina. This sounds like a very practical deep dive. Focusing on core vocabulary is, crucial for language learning, isn't it?
It really is. And this video seems particularly strategic because it's based on the Oxford 3000 word list.
Okay, so that's significant. The Oxford 3000 is, it's a well-researched list of the most important and useful words for English learners to know. These aren't just random words, they're high-frequency foundational vocabulary.
Exactly. They're the words you'll encounter again and again in everyday communication, whether you're, just starting out or pushing towards fluency.
So mastering these gives you a real advantage, a solid base to build upon.
That's the idea. So our mission for this deep dive is to really unpack these 100 words. We'll go through them level by level, starting with A1 beginner, then A2 elementary, B1 intermediate, and finally B2 upper intermediate.
And we'll look at the examples given in the video, try to pull out some key insights, maybe some nuances about how these words are actually used.
Right. The goal isn't just to know the words, but to understand how to use them effectively. Sound good?
Sounds like a plan. Let's start at the beginning, A1.
Okay, kicking things off with A1 beginner level verbs. Now, even though these might seem really basic, it's amazing how much weight they carry, right? You use them constantly.
Absolutely. They're the absolute bedrock. Getting these right early on makes such a difference. They might seem simple, but nailing their usage is key.
Okay, let's take them one by one, using the examples from the video. First up, we have do, example.
Yeah.
She always does her homework.
Right, and notice that does the third person singular form. That's a really fundamental grammatical point you hit very early. He does, she does, it does.
Yeah, it trips people up sometimes at the start. Simple example, but illustrates that key point.
Definitely.
Okay, next is make. And the video gives two examples here. He wants to make a sandwich, and she making a sandwich.
Yeah. The first one, wants to make a sandwich, is straightforward. The second one, she making a sandwich, is, well, it's a little bit grammatically incomplete in standard English, isn't it?
It feels like it needs an is she is making a sandwich.
Exactly. You typically use the present continuous form there. Maybe the video intended to just show the core action, or perhaps it reflects very informal speech, but for clarity, she is making is the standard structure learners should probably aim for.
Good point. It shows that even with common words, getting the grammar right around them is important.
Crucial for clear communication.
Okay, moving on. Next verb, go. Example, they go to school every day.
Very straightforward. Regular action, common destination. And go itself is such a workhorse verb, isn't it? Go home, go shopping, go crazy.
Yeah, pops up everywhere. Okay, then we have no. The example is repeated. I don't know his name. I don't know his name.
Right. And that negative form, don't know, is probably one of the first phrases learners pick up to express, a lack of information or understanding. Really essential.
Definitely. Next verb, say. Example. What did he say?
Okay, so say, obviously fundamental for reporting speech. And this example nicely introduces the past tense question form using did.
Right, using that auxiliary verb. Key grammar point there, too.
Absolutely. How we form questions with did.
Then we have see. Example.
Yeah.
Can you see the cat in the tree?
Ah, okay. So here we get the modal verb can, expressing the ability to perceive, plus see, the perception verb itself.
And in the tree, a nice little prepositional phrase showing location.
Exactly. Prepositions like in, on, at are vital early on for adding those details.
Okay, next is take. The example is an instruction. Take your bag with you.
Yep, an imperative, a command. And take is another one of those verbs with loads of meanings, isn't it? Take medicine, take time, take a chance.
For sure. Here, it's the simple physical meaning of carrying something.
Right, basic common usage.
Then there's want. Again, repeated. I want a new car, and I want a new car. Emphasizing desire.
Seems so, yeah. Want expresses desire or need, a very basic human state, so naturally it's a super high frequency word right from the get-go.
Makes sense. Okay, next verb is work. Example. She works at a store. And the transcript notes a connection to understanding. That's interesting.
Yeah, so work here clearly means having a job, being employed, but work can also mean function, like my phone doesn't work.
Right.
The connection to understanding is probably hinting at that other meaning, like you work through a problem or you work at something until you understand it. It implies effort leading to comprehension.
Ah, I see. That's quite subtle for A1, but good point.
It shows the depth even in seemingly simple words.
Okay, after work comes get. Example.
Yeah.
She will get a gift for her birthday.
Oh, get. Probably one of the most versatile verbs in English. Here, it means receive.
But it can mean so many other things, right? Get tired, get home, get...
Exactly. Arrive, become, understand, obtain. The list goes on. Its flexibility is why it's everywhere.
True. Okay, then look. Repeated example. Look at the sky, look at the sky.
Another imperative. And notice, look at. That preposition often follows look to direct the gaze. Simple instruction used all the time.
Definitely. Next is use. Example. Can I use your pen?
Right. Another question using can, but this time asking for permission.
A really important social function, asking politely to use something.
Absolutely. Pens, phones, computers. You ask to use things constantly.
Okay, then help. Example. Can you help me carry that bag?
Using can, again, this time to request assistance, offering and asking for help is fundamental social interaction. So help is another must-know verb.
Makes sense. Next is find. Example. I can't find my phone. I can't find my phone.
Ugh, the negative can't again. Expressing inability to locate something. And let's face it, who hasn't said, I can't find my phone?
Exactly. Very relatable. Okay, then give. Example. Please give me the pen.
Nice inclusion of please there, showing politeness. Give is about transferring possession, another core interaction.
Simple, direct. Okay, next is think. Example. I think it's going to rain.
Okay, so this one's a bit more abstract, isn't it? Expressing an opinion, a belief, a prediction.
Yeah, moving into mental states. And it uses going to for the future.
Right, so it bundles a couple of useful concepts together.
Then we have feel. Example. I don't feel well today. I don't feel very well today.
Expressing physical or emotional state, again, uses the negative don't feel and adds the adverb very to modify well.
Showing intensity. Good point.
Yeah, adverbs like very start adding nuance early on.
And finally, for the A1 verbs, we have understand. Example. I understand the instructions now.
The perfect verb to end on for learners, signifying comprehension. That moment when things click.
Definitely. So yeah, looking back, even these A1 verbs cover a huge range of essential actions, states, and grammatical structures.
They really do. They're the absolute engine of basic communication. You can't get far without them.
Okay, shall we move on to the A1 adjectives then? The words we use to describe things.
Let's do it. Adjectives are where we start adding detail and, well, flavor to our sentences.
First, A1 adjective. Big. Example. They live in a big house near the city.
Fundamental adjective of size. Describes a common noun, house, and the phrase near the city adds location context. Simple, effective description.
Next is good. And the video mentions a pronunciation tip for American English. Say it with a slight smile.
Interesting tip. Maybe helps with the vowel sound, right? The example is, this soup tastes really good.
A core positive adjective, and really intensifies it. Really good.
Exactly. Shows approval, positive quality.
Then little. Example, he has a little puppy at home.
The opposite of big, obviously. Small size, used here with puppy, which is, inherently appealing. Creates a nice image.
It does. Okay, next is new. Repeated example. He just bought a new car. A new car.
Repetition for emphasis again. New means recently acquired or made. Very relevant for talking about purchases or changes.
Then we have right. Example, that's the right answer to the question, and it mentions the contrast. Right versus wrong.
Yeah, so right here means correct, accurate, a fundamental concept, especially in learning contexts. True, false, right, wrong.
Very binary. Okay, after right comes easy. Example, the homework was easy, so I finished it quickly.
Easy, not difficult. And look how it connects to the result, so I finished it quickly. Introduces that cause and effect link with so.
Good catch. And the adverb quickly modifies finished.
Right. Simple sentence, but nicely structured.
Next is difficult. Example, learning a new language can be difficult.
The direct opposite of easy. And a very relatable statement for anyone tuning into this, I imagine.
Yeah, probably hits home for many. Okay, then high. Example, the mountain is very high. High in the mountains.
Describes vertical extent. Very high uses the intensifier. And high in the mountains shows it used within a prepositional phrase.
Good illustration of different uses.
Yeah, shows flexibility.
And the last A1 adjective, low. Example, the chair is too low for the table.
Opposite of high, small vertical extent. And the word too is important here. It indicates an excessive degree, a problem, too low for the table.
Right, it implies a mismatch. So those are the basic A1 descriptors. They let you start painting simple pictures with words.
Absolutely. Size, quality, correctness, difficulty. The essential starting points for description.
Okay, let's move on to A1 nouns. The real building blocks: people, places, things, ideas.
Yep, nouns give us the subjects and objects of our sentences. These A1 nouns are about as fundamental as it gets.
First one, day. Example, today is a sunny day.
Basic unit of time, combined here with the adjective sunny for a simple weather description. Very common.
Next noun, time. Repeated 3 times. What time is it? What time is it? What time is it?
They really want to emphasize that one. Asking for the time is such a basic, essential function in any language. The repetition makes sense.
You ask it constantly. Okay, then child. Example, the child is playing with toys.
Represents a young person. The example shows a typical childhood activity. Straightforward.
And the final, A1 noun, adult. Example, adults go to work every day.
Contrast with child, a grown person. And again, the example points to a common adult activity. So yeah, day, time, child, adult, fundamental concepts. Really covers the basics of time and people.
Okay, now for A1 conjunctions, those little words that connect ideas together.
The glue of language. Even these simple A1 conjunctions are incredibly powerful for linking thoughts.
First one, and. Example, I like apples and oranges.
The most basic connector. Joins similar items in a list. Simple addition.
Next, but. Example, I wanted to go, but it was raining.
Shows contrast or opposition. The second part explains why the first part didn't happen or isn't true. Very important for expressing nuance.
Definitely. Then or. Example, do you want tea or coffee? Want some coffee or tea?
Presents alternatives, choices. Fundamental for asking questions that offer options.
Makes sense. Following or is because. Example, I stayed at home because it was raining.
Explains the reason why. Answers the why question. Essential for giving explanations and justifications.
You need that one all the time. Okay, next is if. Example, if it's sunny tomorrow, we'll go to the park.
Introduces a condition, sets up a hypothetical situation and its potential consequence. Crucial for talking about possibilities and future plans.
Right, the condition result structure.
Exactly.
And the last A1 conjunction.
Yeah.
So, example, she was tired, so she went to bed.
Shows this result or consequence. The first part leads to the second part. Similar to because, but focuses on the outcome.
Interesting distinction. So, yeah, and, but, or, because, if. So they let you start building more complex sentences right away.
Absolutely. Moving beyond simple statements into connected thought.
Okay, now for A1 question words. Can't have a conversation without asking questions.
Nope. These are the keys to unlocking information. Absolutely vital for basic interaction.
First one, what? Repeated example. What is your name? What is your name?
Probably the most fundamental question when meeting someone. Asking for identification.
Classic starter. Next, who? Example. Who's your teacher?
Asks about a person's identity, often their role or relationship.
Then where? Example, where do you live?
Asks about location, another basic piece of personal information.
Following where is when. Example, when is your birthday?
Asks about time, specifically a date in this case, important for social context.
Then why? Repeat example, why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
Asks for the reason or cause behind something, gets at motivations.
You need to know why. And finally, how? Example, how do you make a sandwich?
Asks about the method, the process, the way something is done, essential for learning and understanding procedures.
So what, who, where, when, why, how? The essential toolkit for information gathering.
Absolutely empowers learners to start actively seeking information.
Okay, last category for A1 pronouns. Those words that stand in for nouns to avoid repetition.
Super important for making language flow naturally. Constantly repeating nouns sounds, well, robotic. Pronouns make it smooth.
First A1 pronoun, my. Example, this is my book.
Basic possessive. Shows ownership by the speaker. My book. Simple.
Next, your. Example, this is your phone.
The you version of possessive. Addressing someone directly about their possession. My and your are a fundamental pair.
His. Example,
his
forgot his jacket. Okay, that first his should probably be he, right? He forgot his jacket.
Ah, good catch. Yes, he forgot his jacket is the standard structure. The second his is the possessive pronoun, showing the jacket belongs to him.
Right, so his shows male possession.
Correct.
Following his is her. Example.
Yeah.
She brought her friend to the party.
The female equivalent shows possession by a female subject. Her friend.
Makes sense. Next is them. Example, I saw Tom and Sarah. I talked to them yesterday.
Okay, so them is the plural object pronoun. It replaces Tom and Sarah when they are the object of the verb talked to, avoids repeating their names.
Very useful for plurals. Then him. Example, I gave him the book. I gave him that.
The singular male object pronoun. He's the receiver of the action, gave. Replaces a male noun when it's the object.
Got it. And the last A1 pronoun.
Yeah.
Me. Example, can you help me with this?
First person singular object pronoun used when the speaker, I, is the object of the verb. Help. Help me.
Okay, so my, your, his, her, them, him, me. Essential for sorting out who owns what and who is doing what to whom without repeating names constantly.
Exactly. They streamline sentences massively, a critical part of basic grammar.
Phew. Okay, that's the entire A1 level covered. Foundational stuff, but really important to get right.
Absolutely. A solid A1 base makes everything that comes after much, much easier. Ready to step up to A2.
Let's do it. A2 elementary level, building on those basics, starting with A2 verbs.
Right. A2 verbs start to describe slightly more complex or specific actions and states.
First A2 verb, need. 2 examples. I need a pen to write a note, and I need to write her a note.
Shows the 2 common structures, doesn't it? Need plus noun, a pen, and need plus infinitive verb, to write. Expresses necessity or requirement.
Useful distinction. Next, accept. Examples. She accepted the invitation to the party, and I accept.
Shows agreement or willingness to receive something. Past tense, accepted, and present tense, accept, shown nicely.
Simple concept, clearly illustrated. Okay, then employ. The video explains. When you give job to someone. Example. The company employs 100 people.
Specifically about providing work, usually paid work. Very relevant in business or work contexts.
Makes sense. Following employ is borrow. Explanation. When you take something for a certain period of time and then you return it. Examples. Can I borrow your phone for a minute? Can I borrow your phone?
The explanation nails it, temporary use with return implied, and the question form, can I borrow, is super common for everyday requests.
Definitely. Okay, next is solve. Explanation. When you find what's the right answer. Example. I need to solve this math problem.
Relates to finding a solution, often for something tricky like a puzzle or a problem.
Like a math problem, yeah. And the final A2 verb, invent. Explanation. To come up with something brand new. Examples. He invented a new type of computer. Invented flying machines.
Creating something entirely new that didn't exist before captures that sense of innovation. So yeah, these A2 verbs add more specific actions, needing, accepting, employing, borrowing, solving, inventing.
They definitely expand the conversational toolkit. Okay, let's look at A2 adjectives.
All right. Building on the simple A1 descriptors, giving us more nuance.
First one, various. Explanation mentions the C will be different, maybe a pronunciation point. Example. There are various ways to solve this problem.
Various means different, multiple kinds. So not just one way, but several ways. The pronunciation note is likely specific to the video's visuals, perhaps about the A sound.
Okay, so various implies multiplicity. Next, recent explanation. Means new, came out not long ago. Example. I read a recent news article about the event.
Adds that time element, something happened in the near past. Useful for talking about current events or things that just happened.
Makes sense. Then particular explanation. Especially great or intense. Example. He has a particular interest in history, taking a particular interest in my finding L. That second part feels a bit off, maybe?
Yeah, the first part, a particular interest, clearly means a specific or strong interest. That fits the B2 meaning better, perhaps. The A2 explanation, especially great or intense, is okay, but the second example, finding L, seems like a very specific, maybe personal reference from the video creator.
Right, doesn't feel like a general example of the words used. Good to focus on the specific interest part.
Agreed. Always good to assess examples critically. Sometimes they're a bit idiosyncratic.
True. Okay, let's move to A2 nouns then.
Okay. A2 nouns often introduce slightly more abstract concepts or specific categories compared to A1.
First up, opportunity explanation. Basically, a set of circumstances to make something possible. Examples. This is a great opportunity. Job would be a great opportunity for me.
A favorable chance or situation, it's less concrete than, say, chair or book, moving towards slightly more abstract ideas.
Definitely. Next, possibility or chance. Example. The forecast said that there's a possibility of snow tonight.
Something that might happen. Likelihood. Offering a chance as a synonym is helpful here.
It is. Okay, then tablet. Explanation.
Yeah.
Tablet's like iPad. Examples. I read books on my tablet just died.
Ah, a specific category of object. The comparison to iPad makes it instantly clear for most people. Very concrete noun, relevant to modern life.
Yeah, good, relatable example. And the final A2 noun, achievement. Explanation. Something you've accomplished. Example. Graduating from university was a big achievement.
A success gained through effort. Again, slightly more abstract than basic objects, refers to the result of actions.
Right, so opportunity, possibility, tablet, achievement. A mix of abstract and specific.
Broadens the topics you can discuss.
Okay, now A2 conjunctions and adverbs grouped together in the video.
Right, adding more sophisticated ways to link ideas and modify verbs adjectives.
First is the adverb already.
Explanation.
Like, you've already done something.
Sure.
Examples. I have already eaten dinner, you've already
Indicates something happened before now, often sooner than expected. Very common adverb. Signals completion.
Clear enough. Next, the conjunction although. Explanation. Similar to despite. Examples. Although it's raining, we went for a walk. Although I know this might be overwhelming and you like Marina. Again, that second example.
Yeah, the first example is perfect. Although it was raining, we went for a walk. It shows that contrast. The rain might have stopped them, but it didn't. Similar to despite or even though.
But the second one?
The second one seems like the video creator talking directly to the audience, you like Marina, maybe acknowledging the difficulty of the content. It doesn't really illustrate the grammatical function of although in the same clear way.
Right. So focus on although as introducing a contrasting clause.
Exactly. That's the key takeaway for its function.
Okay. Now, the video host mentioned something interesting here, needing around 4,000, 5,000 words for basic understanding, and maybe 8,000, 10,000 for higher fluency. Puts these 100 words in perspective.
It really does. 100 is a tiny fraction of that. But, and this is the crucial but, these 100 are likely among the most frequent words. They do a lot of the heavy lifting in everyday communication.
So, knowing them really well gives you a massive head start, even if the total vocabulary needed is much larger.
Precisely. It's about strategic learning. Focusing on high-frequency words first builds a strong foundation quickly. You get more communicative power faster.
Makes sense. The video also briefly mentions this idea of English as a lifestyle and lists resources like handbooks, exercises, trackers, flashcards.
Ah, yeah. That's a really important concept in language learning.
How so?
Well, it's about integrating the language into your daily life, making it enjoyable, not just a subject you study. Using trackers, maybe lifting a playlist, doing quick exercises, it makes learning more continuous and less like a chore.
So it becomes part of your routine, part of how you live.
Exactly. That kind of consistent, low-pressure engagement is often much more effective in the long run than just cramming grammar rules. It's about making it stick by making it relevant and hopefully fun.
Good point. Okay, that wraps up A2. Ready to move into the intermediate tone with B1.
Let's do it. B1 is where things often start feeling more nuanced, allowing for more detailed conversations, starting with B1 verbs.
Okay. First B1 verb. Access. Explanation. Ability to enter or use something. Example. I can access the internet from my phone.
Very relevant verb today. Accessing information, accounts, networks. Here, it's about connecting to the internet.
Simple, clear example. Next, annoy. Explanation. To cause irritation. Examples. The loud music annoys me. To annoy you.
Describes causing bother or frustration. That second phrase, to annoy you, is often used playfully, like when someone is deliberately trying to irritate someone else.
Okay, I see. Then charge. Explanation. To demand a certain amount of money for something. Example. They charge $5 for a delivery. But it also notes the other meaning, charge my phone.
Yes, this is a great example of polysemy. One word, multiple meanings. Context is everything here. Are we talking about money or electricity?
Crucial distinction for learners to pick up on.
Absolutely. B1 level often introduces more words like this.
Okay. Following charge is influence. Explanation. Have an effect. Example. Friends can influence how we feel.
A bit more abstract. Having an impact, often indirectly, deals with cause and effect in social or psychological realms.
Yeah, moving beyond simple physical actions. And the last B1 verb, injure. Explanation. To damage or do physical harm. Examples. He injured his arm while playing soccer, and he injured Danny's arm.
Specifically about physical harm or damage to the body, the examples cover accidental self-injury and potentially harming someone else.
Got it. So access, annoy, charge, influence, injure. More specific, sometimes more abstract verbs.
Right. Allowing for more detailed descriptions of situations and interactions.
Okay, let's look at B1 nouns.
B1 nouns often cover more complex concepts, social structures, or specific types of places.
First one, accommodation, explanation, place where you stay. Example, we need to find accommodations for a vacation.
Usually refers to temporary lodging, like hotels or apartments, especially when traveling. Common word for planning trips.
Makes sense. Next, achievement, explanation, the result of your work. Examples. Getting a high score was a big achievement for her. She achieved a very high score on a test of academic achievement. Hey, wait, didn't we have achievement in A2?
Good memory. Yes, we did. It appeared in A2 with the explanation, something you've accomplished.
So why is it here again in B1?
It's quite common for important high-frequency words to span levels. While the basic concept is introduced in A2, B1 might involve using it in more complex sentences, understanding its nuances more deeply, or encountering related forms like the verb achieve, as seen in the second example here. It signifies a deepening understanding and application.
Okay, so it's reinforced and expanded upon.
And exactly, it's not strictly compartmentalized.
Got it. Next, B1 noun, staff, explanation, people who work somewhere. Example, the staff at the restaurant are very helpful.
Shouldn't that be odd? Very helpful. Yes, you're absolutely right. Staff is usually treated as a plural collective noun in this context, referring to the group of employees. So grammatically, it should take a plural verb. The staff are very helpful. A slight slip in the video's transcript there.
Okay, good to clarify. Then emergency, explanation, a serious, unexpected, and dangerous situation. Example, in an emergency, call 911. Call 911 emergency.
A critical, urgent situation requiring immediate action. The example gives vital, practical advice.
Very important word. And the final B1 noun, neighborhood. Explanation, area that surrounds your house. Example, my neighborhood has many trees and shops.
Refers to the local area where you live, common term for describing one's home environment.
Okay, so accommodation, achievement, staff, emergency, neighborhood. Covering places, results, people, situations.
Right. Expanding the vocabulary for describing social and physical environments and experiences.
Let's check out the B1 adjectives now.
All right. B1 adjectives should offer more nuanced descriptions than A1, A2.
First one, familiar. Explanation, something that you know. And the example is quite long and specific. The face looks familiar to me. Your face looks familiar to a lot of people when they meet me in the street, because I post a lot of short videos, and so on. It's about being recognized from online videos.
A very contemporary example, isn't it? But the core meaning is clear. Familiar means something you recognize, something you've encountered before, even if you don't know it well. The example, though detailed, illustrates that feeling of recognition perfectly.
It does capture that modern phenomenon. Okay, next adjective, advanced. Explanation, this is the highest level. Example, she's in an advanced reading group.
Indicates a high level of skill or progress. Not basic, not intermediate, but advanced.
Straightforward. Then native. Explanation, something that's associated with a place of birth. Example, English is her native language. English is your native of language. Again, that last part seems slightly off, maybe native language.
Yes, most likely. Native language is the standard term for the first language someone learns. Native connects something, often language or origin, to one's place of birth or upbringing.
Got it. Okay, that's the B1 adjectives. Familiar, advanced, native.
Adding useful layers of description related to recognition, level, and origin.
Now for B1 prepositions.
Okay. Moving beyond basic location-time prepositions to show more complex relationships.
First one, since. Explanation.
Yeah.
From a particular time. Example, I have lived here in this house since 2021.
Marks the starting point of a period that continues to the present, often used with the present perfect tense, like have lived in the example.
Shows duration starting in the past. Okay, next, despite. Explanation. Regardless. Example, we went for a walk despite the rain. We didn't care about the rain. We still went for a walk.
Introduces a contrast. Something happens even though there's a factor that might normally prevent it. Similar to in spite of or although. The explanation in the example, we didn't care about the rain, clarifies the meaning well.
It does. So since and despite add more precision in expressing time relationships and contrast.
Exactly. More sophisticated tools for sentence construction.
All right, we've navigated B1. Now for the final stretch. B2, upper intermediate. This is where vocabulary really allows for complex, nuanced discussion. Let's start with B2 verbs.
B2 verbs often deal with more abstract processes, acquisition, communication, and analysis. They're key for more academic or sophisticated conversation.
First, B2 verb, acquire. Explanation covers a lot. To buy something, to get something, to achieve something, to learn something. Example, he wants to acquire new skills in cooking.
Yeah, it's quite broad. Generally means to gain or obtain something, whether it's an object, knowledge, or a skill. The example focuses on skill acquisition through learning.
Versatile word. Next, conduct. Explanation. Organize and carry out. Example, they will conduct a study on health, and the video notes its multiple meanings and the importance of context.
That note is crucial at the B2 level. Conduct here means to perform or carry out an organized activity, like a study or an experiment. But, as the note implies, it can also mean behavior, his conduct, or leading music, conduct an orchestra. Context is absolutely key.
Definitely need context there.
Right.
Okay, then enhance. Explanation. Improve. Examples. Exercise can enhance your health. About how we might enhance our social media engagement.
Means to improve the quality, value, or extent of something, making something better. The examples cover health and the more modern context of online presence.
Good range. Next is possess. Synonym own. Example. She possesses many books.
Similar to own, but often sounds a bit more formal or implies having a quality or characteristic, not just a physical object. She possesses great talent.
Ah, okay. Slightly different connotation. Then recall. Explanation. Remember. Example. I can't recall his name. Can't recall his name.
A more formal way to say remember, often suggesting an effort to bring something back to mind.
Got it. Then reveal. Explanation. To make something publicly known. Example. The test results revealed her progress.
To make something known that was previously secret, hidden, or unclear, like uncovering information.
Makes sense. And the final B2 verb, approach. Explanation. To get closer to something. Examples. As we approach winter, the days get shorter. We approach the final victory.
Can be literal, like getting closer in time, approaching winter, or space, but also abstract, like getting closer to a goal or a state, approaching victory, shows movement towards something.
So acquire, conduct, enhance, possess, recall, reveal, approach. Definitely more sophisticated actions and processes.
They allow for much more precise and often more formal or academic ways of expressing ideas.
Okay, let's look at the B2 nouns.
B2 nouns often represent abstract concepts, collective groups, formal processes, or requirements.
First B2 noun, majority. Explanation.
No.
Most of it, the majority of the class voted for the trip.
More than half of a group. Essential for talking about statistics, voting, group dynamic.
Very useful term. Next, inquiry. Explanation is an ask. Example, I made an inquiry about the prices.
A formal request for information, often used in business or official contexts instead of just question.
Right, more formal. Then commitment. Explanation. Dedication. Example, her commitment to her studies is impressive.
A strong promise or dedication to something or someone implies responsibility and loyalty.
Good word. And requirement. Explanation. Something that's necessary for something. Example, a passport is a requirement for international travel.
Something essential, obligatory, needed for a specific purpose.
Okay. Majority, inquiry, commitment, requirement. More abstract, often related to groups, processes, or obligations.
Precisely. Tools for discussing more complex societal or procedural topics.
Now for the B2 adjectives.
Expecting even finer shades of meaning here, more nuanced descriptions.
First one, crucial. Explanation. Very important. Example, sleep is crucial for good health. Is it crucial? A bit crucial.
Means extremely important, essential, decisive, stronger than just important.
Got it. Next, decent. Explanation. Proper. Example, she found a decent place to stay.
Means satisfactory, acceptable, of a reasonably good standard, not amazing perhaps, but perfectly adequate and respectable.
Okay, a measure of quality. Then flexible. Explanation. Means can change easily. Example, her schedule is flexible, now me nor my schedule is flexible.
Able to bend or adapt easily to change, applicable to materials, plans, people's attitudes.
Useful concept.
Yeah.
Then initial. Explanation. Occurring in the beginning. Example, the initial plan was to meet at noon.
Refers to the very first stage or part of something.
Clear. Next, significant. Explanation. Major. Example, there was a significant change in the rules.
Means important, large enough to be noticeable or have an effect, a major change.
Makes sense. And finally, particular. Explanation. Certain. Example, she wants this particular color. Now, hang on. We had particular in A2 as well, didn't we? And again in B1, implicitly.
We certainly did. It popped up in A2 with the sense of especially great or intense interest. Now, here in B2, the meaning is closer to specific or certain, referring to one distinct item out of a group, like this specific color, not just any color.
So the meaning shifts slightly, depending on the level or context.
Exactly. It's a fantastic illustration of how a word's usage can become more refined as you progress. In A2B1, it might relate more to intensity or specificity of interest, while in B2, it clearly singles out one specific item. Context and the surrounding words become even more vital to interpret it correctly at higher levels.
That's actually really helpful to see that progression. Shows language isn't always neat boxes.
Not at all. It's much more organic and context-dependent.
Okay, last group. B2 adverbs. The video host stressed these are important, especially for tests.
Yes, B2 adverbs add significant sophistication linking ideas logically, expressing attitude, modifying actions precisely. They are often markers of higher proficiency.
First one, furthermore. Explanation. Meaning, and in addition to that, example, the restaurant is nice and furthermore, it's affordable.
A linking adverb. Used to add another point of similar importance, reinforcing the previous statement, more formal than just saying, and also.
Okay, adds emphasis. Next, apparently, explanation. Turns out, example, apparently the meeting has been canceled. That meeting will be unnecessary.
Used when reporting something that seems true based on evidence or hearsay, but perhaps without absolute certainty, like saying it seems or it appears.
Expresses a degree of slight uncertainty or reporting.
Got it.
And finally, appropriately. Explanation. Suitable or proper for certain circumstances. Example, dress appropriately for the cold weather. Oh, to dress a cat appropriately for the weather.
The cat example again. But yes, appropriately means doing something in a way that is suitable or fitting for the situation, the right way for the circumstances.
Make perfect sense. So furthermore, apparently appropriately adding logic, nuance, and suitability.
Exactly. They really elevate the level of expression.
And that's it. That's the 100 words from the video, from A1 all the way to B2. We covered a lot of ground there.
We really did. It's fascinating to trace that path from the absolute basics like do and go up to more complex words like acquire. And furthermore, it shows the building blocks of proficiency.
It really does. And hopefully for you listening, seeing them laid out like this with the examples and explanations helps solidify their meaning and usage.
And reinforces just how important these high-frequency words are. They form such a powerful core for communication. Mastering them really pays off.
So that brings our deep dive today to a close. We really hope you found this walk through essential English vocabulary useful.
Yeah, focusing on these core words is such a strategic way to learn. It gives you the most bang for your buck, communicatively speaking.
Absolutely. So maybe a little takeaway thought for you. Which of these 100 words do you feel you use the most? And are there any, especially from the B1 or B2 lists, that you could consciously try to weave into your conversations or writing more often?
That's a great exercise.
Yeah.
Actively trying to use new vocabulary is key to making it stick. And maybe even exploring the full Oxford 3000 list could be a next step for some.
Definitely worth considering. Well, thank you so much for tuning in and joining us for this deep dive. We really appreciate you spending your time with us.
Yes, thank you. Especially to everyone who's stuck with us through all 100 words.
We hope it was valuable.